active. Hello and good morning. You're watching Doordarshan News and this is the breakfast news at 8 this morning. I am Nancy Kohli and over the next 1 hour we'll get you all the news from across the nation, world sports and business updates as well. All the major headlines in fact making news this morning, but first a look at the top stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with the secretaries to the Government of India, calls the recent mandate a reflection of people's aspirations for a better life, urges the ministries to focus on improving the ease of living. Modi government's major crackdown against corruption and misconduct in the higher civil services. 12 senior officers in the income tax department facing serious corruption charges handed compulsory retirement, the first such action involving so many senior officers. India gets invitation from France to attend the outreach session at the G7 summit to be held in France in August this year. Prime Minister Modi accepts the invitation. Two terrorists gunned down by security forces in Shopia in Jammu and Kashmir. Large amount of ammunition recovered from the encounter site. Heat wave continues unabated in north and central India. National capital Delhi records 48 degrees, the highest for the month of June. Deep depression in the Arabian Sea likely to convert into severe cyclone. The Met Department says the cyclone likely to hit Saurashtra coast in the next 48 hours. In international news, nearly 100 people killed in a gruesome violence in central Mali targeting a village inhabited by the Dogon community. And in the Cricket World Cup, the match between South Africa and West Indies washed out due to rain. South Africa on the edge of elimination as they still await their first victory in the tournament in the 4 matches. Our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday interacted with all the secretaries to the Government of India at his residence at the Lok Kalyan Marg. Prime Minister Modi said that the Indian voter has outlined a vision for the next 5 years. He said the huge expectations of the people should not be viewed as a challenge but as an opportunity. Prime Minister Modi said the mandate reflects the will and the aspirations of the people to change the status quo and seek a better life for themselves. Prime Minister Modi added that India's progress in the ease of doing business should reflect in the greater facilitation for small businesses and entrepreneurs. The Prime Minister said that each ministry of the government should focus on the ease of living. Prime Minister Modi added that all the departments must seek to leverage the upcoming milestone of the 75 years of independence, which can inspire people to make a contribution for the betterment of the country. Cabinet Secretary P.K. Sinha mentioned 2 important tasks which would be placed before sectoral groups of the secretaries, and those would be a 5-year plan document for each ministry with well-defined targets and milestones. Another one would be a significant impactful decision in each ministry for which approvals will be taken within 100 days. During the interaction, various secretaries shared their vision and ideas on subjects such as administrative decision-making, agriculture, rural development and Panchayati Raj, the IT initiatives, education reform, healthcare, industrial policy, economic growth and skill development. Prime Minister Modi also credited the team of officials for conceiving schemes and delivering results in the last 5 years. And next big story, in another surgical strike against corruption and other misdemeanors being committed by those in the high offices, the Modi government has compulsorily retired 12 senior income tax department officials of the ranks of Chief Commissioner, the Principal Commissioners and Commissioner of the Income Tax Department under Rule 56J. This gives the power to the government to retire a certain category of government servants ahead of time in public interest. This is the first time that such a large number of IRS and other officials have been compulsorily retired in one go. And let's now go across to our correspondent Sudhakar Das, who's joining us on the phone line with more inputs on that. Sudhakar, so this is a major crackdown, cracking the whip by the Modi government 2.0, and sending a very strong message, setting a strong precedent as well as to what will not really be tolerated. It's a major sacking taking place in one go.
Yes, Nancy, and within 10 days of the Modi government winning a second term, the Modi government took a major step to clean up the income tax department and compulsorily retired a dozen high-ranking officers facing charges ranging from corruption and disproportionate assets to non-performance. And really, this is the first, you can say, this is the first step to send a message that unacceptable behavior will not be tolerated. There are more officials with dubious. They say that there are more officials with dubious record, and Modi government is watching all of them, and they are under observation. And this is the biggest sacking in one go, as far as I remember, and initiated by the government and focused on senior officials, including principal commissioners, the commissioners. And you can say this months after taking charges in 2014 also Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi told ministry that they should go ahead with the culling employees who were not performing their duties satisfactorily, and within 10 days is in his second term this order has come.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a major step as well as far as cleaning up the income tax department is concerned as well, sending out a very strong message that these behavioral aspects will never be tolerated. Thanks, Sudhakar, for those inputs. Thanks very much. And moving on now to news from Jammu and Kashmir, where two unidentified terrorists have been killed in an encounter at Avnira Zainapura area in South Kashmir's Shopian district early this morning. The encounter broke out between the terrorists and the joint team of the security forces following the launch of a counter-terror operation in the area. In the encounter, two terrorists have been eliminated. Arms and ammunition have also been recovered from the encounter site. The identity and the group affiliation of the slain terrorists is still being ascertained. So yet another breakthrough by the security forces as far as elimination of the terrorists is concerned. Moving on now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold bilateral talks with the Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the SCO summit in Kyrgyzstan this week. The External Affairs Ministry has reiterated that no meeting has been scheduled between Prime Minister Modi and his Pakistani counterpart Imran Khan at the SCO summit. Prime Minister Modi had attended the previous SCO meeting in China last year. Important issues like counter-terrorism and connectivity are likely to be discussed at the forthcoming SCO summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Kyrgyzstan's capital Bishkek on the 13th and 14th of June to take part in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. A wide range of regional and global issues will be taken up for discussion, with special focus on security, trade and investment, as well as countering terrorism. Also known as the Heads of State Council, the summit is the first major multilateral engagement Prime Minister Modi is undertaking after being put back in office with a resounding mandate by the country's voters. This is the second SCO summit after India became a full-time member. Prime Minister Modi had also taken part in last year's summit meet held in China's Qingdao.
Typically, the summit settings are meant to discuss the global security situation, multilateral economic cooperation, people-to-people exchanges, and other topical issues.
The PM will also be meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russia's President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the SCO summit.
We're happy to confirm bilateral meetings with Russia and China as taking place on the margins of the SCO summit. There will be, and there are other requests also. These tend to be processed, taking into account the limited time available.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan will also be participating in the summit, but the MA has reiterated that no meeting has been fixed between him and Prime Minister Modi on the sidelines of the summit.
There is no meeting which is being organized between Prime Minister and Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan. I think there is nothing more which I can add or we can add at this stage.
Formed in 2001, the SCO is an 8-member Eurasian political, economic and security grouping. It represents 42% of the world's population and 20% of the world's GDP. China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan are its founding members. India and Pakistan became full-time members at the Astana summit in 2017. DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has accepted an invitation from French President to attend the outreach session of the G7 summit as a special invitee. The External Affairs Ministry spokesperson said, I quote, "The Prime Minister has received an invitation from the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, to attend the outreach session at the G7 summit as a special invitee." He was responding to queries relating to commitments of the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of France regarding the invitation extended to India. The ministry spokesperson further said that the invitation is a reflection of the personal chemistry between the two leaders, a demonstration of a deepening strategic partnership and recognition of India as a major economic power. The 45th summit of the G7 is going to take place from 24th to 26th of August in France. And the visiting French foreign minister yesterday met the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar in the national capital. Both the leaders exchanged views on global issues. The External Affairs Minister also appreciated France's special invitation to Prime Minister Modi to join the G7 summit to be held in August. And this is what the External Affairs Minister tweeted: received French MOS for Foreign Affairs and the productive exchange of views on global issues took place. Also, he said he appreciated special invitation to Prime Minister Modi to join the G7 summit in August. This is what the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar tweeted yesterday. We're shifting focus now to some other news, and even as political clashes and violence continue unabated in West Bengal, the Governor Keshwanath Tripathi met Prime Minister Modi and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah in the national capital Delhi and apprised them of the law and order situation in the state. The Bharatiya Janata Party has accused the TMC of orchestrating violence on Saturday in Basirhat that claimed the lives of some BJP workers. The Bharatiya Janata Party has also accused the Bengal police of acting in a biased manner under the directions of the political bosses. Earlier, the centre had issued an advisory to the state government to control the situation, and Mamata government has rebuffed the charges as a political controversy.
Ongoing law and order crisis in West Bengal dominated the day in the state and in the national capital on Monday. BJP observed Black Day in West Bengal. Meanwhile, in Delhi, West Bengal Governor Keshwanath Tripathi met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. These high-level meetings are considered crucial in the context of continued political violence in the state, even after the conclusion of Lok Sabha polls. Governor briefed Prime Minister and Home Minister about the ground situation in the state.
My visit to Prime Minister and Home Minister was in the nature of a courtesy call. As I told you earlier while I was departing from this place, that I could not extend my greetings on the day on which they were sworn in as the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. Therefore, I had sought time. Today the Prime Minister gave me time. I extended my good wishes to him. And so far as West Bengal is concerned, I gave a general description about the condition in Bengal. That is all. And same thing with the Home Minister.
Earlier, Home Ministry had issued an advisory to the state government expressing deep concern over the violence. The centre has in fact directed the state administration to maintain law and order. In response, Mamata Banerjee's government wrote a letter to the centre saying that everything is under control in West Bengal and all agencies are working fine, although the ground reality of West Bengal presents an entirely different picture. In view of deteriorating law and order situation and murder of its workers, Bharatiya Janata Party observed a Black Day in the state. The party called for 12-hour Bandh in Basirhat division of North 24 Parganas. The party took out a number of protest rallies across the state. Clashes were reported between the protesters and the police. BJP leveled allegations against the TMC government of influencing the police forces.
सारे प्रदेश के अंदर ममता जी अराजकता की स्थिति कर रही है। टीएमसी के गुंडे बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं के घर में जाकर बम फेंक रहे हैं, चमका रहे हैं। कुल मिलाकर सारे प्रदेश में अराजकता है।
देखिए, पुलिस कुल मिला के टीएमसी की कैडर बन के काम कर रही है, जो कि गलत है और समय बहुत जल्दी परिवर्तन होता है, ये उनको भी जान लेना चाहिए। और मुझे लगता है पुलिस को अपना काम करना चाहिए। देखिए, जो गुनहगार है आप उसको सजा दो, मैं भी उसके पक्ष में हूँ, लेकिन जो बेकसूर है आप उसको जबरदस्ती थाने में पकड़ के नहीं डाल सकते।
On Saturday, a violent clash broke out between BJP and TMC workers in Sandesh Khali block of Bashirhat. BJP demanded immediate action against culprits responsible for killing its party workers. In the clashes, both the parties have claimed that their workers were killed. Extensive violence has been reported from West Bengal during the Lok Sabha elections also. Even after the polls, the violence continues unabated. Facing the heat over prevailing law and order crisis in West Bengal, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee called a meeting of all district magistrates and police chiefs to take stock of the situation. With Bureau Input, DD India.
And let's get in more inputs from our correspondent Anibrato, who's joining us from Kolkata this morning. Anibrato, law and order, of course, has become a casualty even as traders, charges are being traded between the BJP and the TMC. So give us a sense of the prevailing law and order situation there, and also, all eyes will now be on the state government and the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee as to whether she's really able to control and contain the situation or even better it or not.
Yeah, Nancy, as you know, this violence and the law and order issue has virtually become issue of public discourse right at this point of time. And this violence is not only confined within a place and time, because what we found in Sandesh Khali after the gruesome murder of the two BJP workers and one TMC worker, large scale tension escalated there, and thereafter BJP called 12-hour bond, and they observed Black Day yesterday. Tension is still prevailing there. Tenuous situation is prevailing. Sense of uneasiness is there, and internet services is still withheld in several pockets there. But the thing is that although police, large contingent of police is monitoring the situation there, but the tension is now bypassed to some other areas. That is in Bhatpara in North 24 Pargana. In last night, one person succumbed died in a bomb blast, and thereafter again in Amta, that is in Howrah district, two persons were found hanging from a tree. One is a BJP worker, and another is chosen as a RSS worker. The thing is that people are blaming and casting aspersion to Trinamool Congress that they are chanting, Ram Nam. So that's why they were murdered, because threatened call was they are getting much beforehand. So this is the thing. Mamata Banerjee yesterday held administrative meeting, wrapped the several police officers. Mamata said that strict vigilance should be kept over this riot mongering and the rumor mongering, because he's saying that BJP in allegiance to their government at the center is hatching up conspiracy to destabilize our government. That is what Mamata Banerjee is casting aspersion on BJP. The thing is that BJP and Trinamool Congress casting aspersion over each other, and the situation in gradually in Bengal is tending to be abnormal. After Lok Sabha election, what we are finding there. Center meanwhile, aggrieved the fact of this law and order situation is absolutely normal here. But the thing is that Mamata again said that it is the duty of the police officials to keep and vigil over several pockets where the disturbances are being created by certain motivated intentions that they are behind.
Okay. All right, Aniprato, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and sharing all those inputs. Thanks very much. Moving on now, the former Civil Aviation Minister and NCP leader Praful Patel was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday in connection with a money laundering probe related to the losses suffered by Air India as part of an alleged multi-crore aviation scam. The Rajya Sabha MP is expected to appear again today as the questioning and the recording of his statement has to continue. He is the first high-profile person who has deposed before the Enforcement Directorate in this case. Praful Patel, however, has not been mentioned as an accused in the case. A 2-year-old child who had fallen into a 150 feet deep unused borewell in Sangrur while playing was pulled out of it this morning in a frantic rescue operation almost after 110 hours. The toddler was rushed to a hospital in an ambulance amid police security. The child was rescued around 5:30 this morning by the NDRF personnel. The child, who had turned 2 on Monday, fell into the borewell in a field when he was playing on Thursday evening. The toddler was stuck in the 7-inch wide borewell at a depth of 125 feet. A massive rescue operation was launched to bring the child safely out of the borewell. Now, details about the health of the child could not be known immediately. Meanwhile, Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amarendra Singh has directed all the deputy commissioners to ensure no open borewell remains in the state. The Chief Minister has tweeted, I quote, have directed all the district commissioners to ensure that no such open borewell exists in any of the districts, and have asked them to submit a report within 24 hours, unquote. In some other news now, the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will today flag off the first batch of Yatris of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra from New Delhi. There are 2 routes for the Yatra through Lipulek Pass, Uttarakhand, and through the Nathula Pass in Sikkim. The duration of the Yatra is 24 days for each batch, including 3 days in Delhi for preparatory work. The route through the Lipulek Pass will be conducted in 18 batches of 60 pilgrims each. The route through the Nathula Pass, Sikkim is motorable and suitable for senior citizens unable to undertake the arduous trekking. This year, 10 batches consisting of 50 pilgrims are scheduled for this route. An update now on the heat wave conditions. The large swaths of the country seared under record high temperatures on Monday, with the mercury touching 48 degrees Celsius in Delhi, the highest for June, and hovering around the 50 degrees Celsius mark in many other areas in North India. There was no immediate respite in sight as the monsoon advanced slowly in southern and northeastern India, and the weather department forecast that heat wave conditions were likely to prevail in north and western India for a couple of days more. Churu in Rajasthan was the hottest recorded place with a high of 50.3 degrees Celsius, followed by Banda in Uttar Pradesh, Allahabad, Sri Ganganagar and Narnaul in Haryana. Delhi recorded its highest ever June temperature at 48 degrees Celsius. The city's previous high of 47.8 degrees Celsius was recorded in Palam on the 9th of June in 2014. The hot, dry winds swept the city, compounding the woes of people who had to venture out for work. Jammu recorded the hottest day of the season with a maximum temperature of 44.4 degrees Celsius. The prevailing heatwave conditions intensified power and water woes in different parts of the region in Jammu and Kashmir. Himachal Pradesh's Una experienced the hottest day in 14 years. Una sizzled at 45.2 degrees Celsius on Monday. Now, according to the Met Department, heat wave to severe heat wave conditions are very likely to prevail over Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Vidarbha, southern parts of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh during the next 2 days. The intensity and the spatial extent of heating is very likely to reduce substantially thereafter. Now, Mumbai and suburbs witnessed heavy pre-monsoon showers last night, bringing some respite to the people from the sweltering heat. It is the first pre-monsoon showers in the South Mumbai region. The eastern parts of the city have already witnessed light showers and drizzle. Areas like Kolaba in South Mumbai, the western suburbs of Santa Cruz, Malad, Kandivali and Borivali along with Kurla, Ghatkopar and Vikhroli, Thane and Kalwa also received good spell of showers accompanied by thunder and lightning. The flight operations at the Mumbai airport were also put on hold after heavy rains brought the visibility down below the required limit. The Met Department has predicted partly cloudy sky in the morning hours with the possibility of rain or thunder showers accompanied with squall for the city. And let's now go across to our correspondent Shama Mishra, who is joining us from Mumbai this morning. Shama, good morning. First of all, bring us up to speed as to the measures that have been put in place, as far as the pre-monsoon showers are concerned and the prediction for the day up ahead.
Right, Nancy. First of all, let's talk about the measures that you've asked. So in Mumbai, we were, expecting the monsoons to touch around, we can say 13th of June or 10th of June. So accordingly, the efforts and everything, the measures has been taken. So the trees along the roads, the branches have been cut off, the extra branches, so that they don't fall on the road or on anybody else to avoid any untoward incident. And also the pumping equipments that are used for pumping excess water that gets accumulated in the low-lying areas, that have already been put in place. Talking about yesterday, what we saw yesterday was pre-monsoon showers in Mumbai, and it did give a respite to Mumbai because we were experiencing a hot and humid climate here in Mumbai, and today we are expecting that the temperatures might be a little lower than what we saw yesterday in the day. Also, we are expecting that pre-monsoon showers would continue because of the depression that we are seeing in the southeast Arabian Sea, and which is also causing the cyclone Vayu. But the cyclone Vayu would be moving towards Saurashtra. But also here in Mumbai and the adjoining areas, including the Navi Mumbai and the places that you've already mentioned, that experienced a good 1.5 hour to 2 hours of pre-monsoon showers, and people were really happy. They came out and they enjoyed those showers. But also it caused it caused rail and air traffic, air operations to stall. Here in Mumbai, when we're talking about the trains, the Trans Harbour and the harbour lines, there were incidents of OHE, the overhead equipment tripping, and between Bandra and Mahim, and this caused a delay of 15 minutes in that particular line. And also in central line, if you're talking about that Diva station, near Diva station, we also saw the similar incident which caused a major blackout. When we're talking about air operations, around the time when the pre-monsoon showers began, the visibility had really gone down, and because of that, no airplane was allowed to land, and around 22 aircraft, including 6 domestic, including 6 international and 16 domestic aircrafts were affected. But we are expecting that the monsoon, which is advancing, from Kerala towards us, will really cover all of Maharashtra, and because of that, the agriculture part and the farmers would get a respite. And here also in Mumbai, we are expecting, because right now also you can see that the sun has already come out high, and we are already experiencing heat here. So we are expecting that the monsoon should cover Mumbai and Maharashtra, all of Maharashtra and the entire India soon, so that we could have a respite from this rising temperatures. Nancy?
All right, Shama, thanks for those inputs. Thanks very much. Meanwhile, the Met Department has issued heavy rainfall warning in parts of Gujarat for the next few days due to a depression in the Arabian Sea, which is likely to turn into a severe cyclonic storm. Fishermen have been advised to not venture into the sea in the next few days, and ports have been asked to flag the danger signal. Heavy rain warning has also been issued for Saurashtra and Kutch on 13th and 14th of this month due to the depression in the Arabian Sea, which will turn into a severe cyclonic storm. The depression over southeast, adjoining Lakshadweep and east central Arabian Sea moved northwards with a speed of about 31 kilometers per hour on Monday. And let's now go across to our correspondent Nishit Joshi, who's joining us from Ahmedabad. Nishit, even as entire India is reeling under the heat wave conditions, Gujarat and Maharashtra are both bracing for the cyclonic storm. And we also know that, of course, regular meetings are taking place. The Army, Coast Guard and the NDRF have all been put on a standby to deal with the eventuality of the cyclonic storm. What more measures are being put in place, and what advisories are being issued to people there in the wake of the cyclonic storm? Nishit, if you are with us. Well, there seems to be a disconnection there with him in that. Okay, he's back with us. Yes, Nishit.
खास करके जी नैन्सी, वेरावल से 930 किलोमीटर दूर साउथ ईस्ट में एक डिप्रेशन क्रिएट हुआ है जो कभी भी साइक्लोन में कन्वर्ट हो सकता है। और कल जो रेवेन्यू मतलब महसूल सचिव थे, उन्होंने एक मीटिंग बुलाई थी, जिस मीटिंग में कोस्ट गार्ड, एनडीआरएफ, एसडीआरएफ के और आर्मी और एयरफोर्स के आला अधिकारी वहां पे मौजूद थे और जिनको सबको अलर्ट पे रखा गया है। और उसके अलावा राज्य सरकार के जो भी विभाग है, जो भी बिजली विभाग है, फॉरेस्ट विभाग है, फायर ब्रिगेड है, आरएनबी है, उन सबको भी अलर्ट पे रखा गया है। खास करके जो 11 एनडीआरएफ की टीम, वो 11 एनडीआरएफ की टीम रवाना हो चुकी है तटीय इलाकों पे जाने के लिए। और गिर सोमनाथ की अगर बात करें तो वहां पे और सभी बंदरगाहों पे, जैसे कि पोरबंदर हो, जामनगर हो, और दूसरा जो पोरबंदर, जामनगर, सोमनाथ, सभी जगह पे 1 नंबर का सिग्नल दिया गया है और मछुआरों को समंदर में नहीं जाने के लिए सूचन किया गया है। हालांकि सोमनाथ की बात करें तो 47 बोट्स में 225 मछुआरे अभी भी समंदर में, उनके सभी के साथ संपर्क किए गए हैं और उनको नजदीक के बंदर पे जाने के लिए सूचन किया गया है। और मुख्यमंत्री विजय रूपाणी जी ने कल एक लोकल अधिकारियों के साथ भी बात की थी। उन्होंने बोला है कि 11 एनडीआरएफ की टीम मूव कर चुकी है ऑलरेडी। और दूसरी बात यह है कि 2 टीम एनडीआरएफ की भटिंडा और पुणे से आएगी। तो अभी तंत्र एक्शन में है और राज्य सरकार पूरी तरह से सज्ज है इस साइक्लोन को निपटने के लिए।
Yes, absolutely. Nishit, now after a long time, any cyclonic storm is going to be practically affecting the state of Gujarat there. So in that context as well, what new measures and what sort of preparatory measures that the state government and the agencies would like to keep on a standby to make sure that minimum damage is caused to life and property?
जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि एनडीआरएफ और एसडीआरएफ की टीम सज्ज है। इसके अलावा राज्य सरकार मौसम विभाग और इसरो के साथ कॉन्स्टेंटली सपोर्ट में है, कंटिन्यूअस सपोर्टिंग में है और उनके साथ कॉन्स्टेंटली टच में है। और कोई भी एक्शन के लिए, जैसे कि मुख्यमंत्री विजय रूपाणी ने कल बताया था कि राज्य सरकार पूरी तरह से सज्ज है और किसी भी मिनिमम डैमेज हो उसके लिए पूरी तरह से सभी प्रयास राज्य सरकार की ओर से किए गए हैं। नैन्सी,
Okay. All right, Nishi, thanks for those inputs. All the contingency measures and, of course, the preparatory measures have been put into place, and the Army, the Coast Guard and the NDRF teams have also been put on a standby. Thanks, Nishit, for those inputs. Moving on now to some international news, and nearly 100 people have been killed in a gruesome overnight attack on a village in central Mali in the latest violence to strike the fragile region. There was no immediate claim of responsibility, but the massacre targeting a village inhabited by the Dogon community bore the hallmarks of tit-for-tat ethnic attacks that have claimed hundreds of lives. The violence between Dogon hunters and Fulani herders has killed hundreds since January, including an attack in March in which gunmen killed more than 150 Fulani, one of the worst acts of bloodshed in Mali's recent history. And Mali's president has condemned the killing, in fact confirming the killing. The UN peacekeeping mission in Mali has said that United Nations peacekeepers provided air support earlier on Monday to efforts by the Malian government to prevent further attacks. And in more international headlines now, the final candidates for the Tory leadership race have been confirmed, with 10 running to become the next Prime Minister. Boris Johnson, Jeremy Hunt, Dominic Raab, Matt Hancock and Michael Gove, who launched their campaigns ahead of the nomination deadline, are all on the final list. The Conservative MPs will now take part in a series of votes to whittle the candidates down to the final 2. The two MPs will then face the wider Tory membership to decide on the next leader of their party and the country. The 313 Conservative MPs will begin voting on Thursday. They will hold a series of secret ballots to whittle down the field to a final pair, who will put to around 1,60,000 party members from the next week to choose Britain's next Prime Minister. However, Theresa May remains Premier until her replacement is chosen, likely in late July, and whoever it is will automatically enter the Downing Street. In some more news now, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said that he sought India's help to train the country's security forces to counter terror during his meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ranil Wickremesinghe in a statement said that he had assured Prime Minister Modi that the delayed Indo-Lanka projects will be expedited. The Prime Minister also said that a series of joint initiatives between India and Sri Lanka were being planned to ensure continued economic cooperation. Prime Minister Modi on Sunday became the first foreign leader to visit Sri Lanka after the deadly terror attacks on 21st of April that killed over 250 people and injured over 500. And after all the news, it's now time to go across to my colleague Ajay for the finance news.
Thank you, Nancy. Welcome all to Finance World. Let's start with our top story. The Finance Minister will hold her pre-budget consultation meeting from today. She would be meeting with representatives of agriculture and rural development in the first half, followed by meetings with representatives of trade and industry associations in the second half. This would be the first interaction of Sitharaman, who took over as India's first full-time women finance minister last month after the BJP-led NDA government won the second term. She will be presenting the Modi 2.0 government's first full budget on July 5th. The benchmark indices ended Monday's session with the gains lifted by tech stocks in line with the global stock markets that were buoyed by the deal struck between US and Mexico to avoid a tariff war and weak US job data that raised hopes of rate cuts by Federal Reserve. The S&P BSE Sensex rose 169 points or 0.43% to 39,785 with ITC, Infosys, Bharti Airtel, Axis Bank and ITC. Out of 30 BSE constituents, 20 ended the day in the green. The broader index Nifty 50 index added 52 points or 0.44% to settle at 11,923. The market breadth, though, was tilted in favor of sellers. About 1,083 stock declined and 701 shares advanced on NSE. The Nifty sectoral indices traded mixed. Nifty IT and Nifty FMCG were the top gainers. Both were up 1% each, while Nifty Media and Nifty PSU Banks indices were the top drags, both down over 1.5%. The broader market, the S&P BSE mid cap rose 17 points or 0.11% to 14,923, while S&P BSE small cap dipped 72 points or 0.49% to 14,585. The Corporate Affairs Ministry on Monday filed fresh application at NCLT to debar the Deloitte Haskins & Sells and BSR Associates, an arm of KPMG, who are the auditors of Ireland FS Financial Services, from auditing for 5 years, and also to appoint a new auditor for the crippled firm. Ireland FS Financial Services of the 348 subsidiaries of the crippled group, which owe more than 95,000 crores to the lenders. The group got into trouble after many of its subsidiaries began to default since last September, and on October 1st that year, the government has just suspended its board and taken over the company. That's all in the finance world. Thanks for watching.
Thanks Ajay for all those inputs, and let's now move on to some sports news. And in the Cricket World Cup, South Africa remained winless in the World Cup this year after their match against the West Indies was abandoned due to rain at the Rose Bowl in Southampton on Monday. Now both the teams got a point each after just 7.3 overs were possible as rain gods played hide and seek throughout the league encounter. West Indies paceman Sheldon Cottrell had reduced South Africa to 29 for 2 before the rain stopped play in the World Cup match. South Africa desperately needing a win after defeats in all 3 of their matches so far at the tournament in England, and Wales lost the toss and were put into bat under threatening skies. And let's now move on to our next segment, the morning print, to get you a glimpse of what the national dailies are carrying this morning. Let's in fact begin with the top story that's coming in from the Economic Times, and this is an editorial that we have picked up. And yes, this is talking about Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit and the SCO summit as well in Bishkek, the focus on the new payment system. And it says that India is reportedly likely to join China and Russia to root for a new type of multilateral trading system to counter protectionist trade policies of the US. India stands to gain by strengthening the trading system we already have, but is under attack from unilateral pressure from President Donald Trump. Now, at the SCO summit at Bishkek this week, India must focus minds on the need for a payment settlement mechanism that does not involve the dollar for transactions without an American counterparty. And moving on now to another editorial from the Indian Express, and this is talking about Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to, of course, Male and Colombo, and this is talking about neighbors first. Prime Minister Modi's first official visit abroad in his second term to the Maldives and Sri Lanka reiterated that the neighborhood first policy remains the credo of the new government. It reaffirmed India's long-standing ties with these two countries. It also signaled Delhi's assertion in the Indian Ocean region, where the Chinese power and the influence compete with its own. India has been helped in this by the major political changes in both the countries, where governments seen as quote-unquote pro-China were swept out in democratic elections and replaced with those that seem more India-friendly, or at least more balanced in their foreign policies. Moving on now to this news from Hindustan Times, and it is a column, a whole piece, in fact, the half of the page being covered on Girish Karnad, the literature's doyen, friend, philosopher and guide to all. End of an era, it says, tributes pour in from film and theatre artists, politicians across party lines. It also mentions the portrait of an artist, in fact, detailing his entire journey. It also talks about an activist who fought for liberal values. As a public intellectual, Girish Karnad was known for his criticism of the politics and those opposed to ideas as well. And this in fact is talking about how he was a humanist most of all and never backed down from speaking his mind if he saw any injustice. And in fact, let's now move on to some more news. And yes, this is about yes, in fact, we are talking more about, let's in fact get to this more news on Yuvraj Singh in just a bit. Yes, this is where it is. The Times Sport, goodbye warrior prince. Emotionally, Yuvraj says winning World Cup in 2011, the highest point of his career. And in fact, there is also a column written by Harbhajan Singh which says that for me, Yuvi is above the many ODI legends, and he's in fact recalling his entire memories with him. He said we wouldn't have won the 2011 World Cup without his efforts, and winning 2 World Cups, including World T20 in 2007, has been his biggest gift to India. Remember, Yuvraj Singh, they're announcing his retirement yesterday. That took place. Moving on now, ahead of the International Yoga Day on 21st of June, Prime Minister Modi has tweeted a video of his animated version performing the Bhadra Asan. He also explained the benefits of the asan. Take a look.
भद्रासन, अंग्रेजी में भद्रासन को दी ऑस्पिशियस पोज के नाम से भी जाना जाता है। ये आसन आपके तन एवं मन दोनों को दृढ़ता प्रदान करता है। सबसे पहले अपने दोनों पैरों को सामने की तरफ फैलाकर सीधे बैठें और अपने हाथों को अपने कूल्हों के पास रखें। ध्यान रखें कि आपके शरीर का वजन हाथों पे ना पड़े। इस मुद्रा को दंडासन कहा जाता है। अब दंडासन की स्थिति में धीरे से अपनी सांस छोड़ते हुए अपने पैरों के तलवों को आपस में जोड़ें। अब अपने हाथों को अपने पैरों के अंगूठों पर कसें और धीरे धीरे अपने दोनों पैरों की एड़ियों को जितना संभव हो उतना मूलाधार के पास लाएं। अगर ऐसा करते हुए आपकी जांघें जमीन को ना छू रही हों, तो आप उनके नीचे तकिया रखकर उन्हें सहारा दे सकते हैं। भद्रासन एक विराम आसन यानी लंबे समय तक बैठे रहने की मुद्रा है, इसलिए अब इस मुद्रा में आंख बंद करके सामान्य रूप से सांस लें और छोड़ें। भद्रासन शरीर को दृढ़ रखता है और मस्तिष्क को स्थिर करता है। ये घुटनों और कूल्हे की हड्डी को मजबूत बनाता है और घुटने के दर्द को कम करता है। ये आसन पेट में किसी भी तरह के तनाव को दूर करता है। महिलाओं के मासिक धर्म के समय होने वाले पेट दर्द और अन्य तकलीफों से भी राहत दिलाता है। ये आसन गर्भवती महिलाओं के लिए भी लाभकारी है। अक्यूट आर्थराइटिस यानी गठिया और सायटिका के रोगी ये आसन ना करें। कुछ समय तक इस स्थिति में स्थिर रहने के बाद अपनी आंखें खोलें। अब धीरे धीरे सांस अंदर लेते हुए और अपने पैरों को सामने की ओर फैलाते हुए दंडासन की मुद्रा में कुछ क्षणों तक आराम करें। भद्रासन आपके शरीर के अंदरूनी अंगों पर असर करके आपके शरीर को पूरी तरह से स्वस्थ बनाता है।
And to discuss some more, we have a guest present here in the studio this morning, Dr. Ishwari Basaraddi, the director of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, and we are going to be talking to him about the benefits of yoga and of course also in the run-up to the International Yoga Day on the 21st of June. Thanks, sir, for joining us here on Doordarshan News this morning. Around 10 days left now for the International Yoga Day, and we understand that preparations must be in place. Just to bring us up to speed, what really the Ayush Ministry is planning to do different this time, and how are you continuing to encourage, inspire people to join yoga and make yoga a mass movement?
Yes, we have already started this momentum almost 3 months back. It's a 100 days countdown on 13th of March by social media. And but not only this, and year long, we are from last year we have started this entire movement year long. This time we would like to have it in various places, in workplace and parks, mohallas and schools, colleges, universities. Everywhere there is a lot of enthusiasm, and yoga teachers are in making their best efforts to provide good training. And this time the main event will be at Ranchi, where Honorable Prime Minister is going to be participating.
Sure. There's also going to be focus on khadi this time around, keeping in mind the environment conservation, environment protection. We understand, Dr. Ishwar, khadi mats are also going to be rolled out this time around on the International Yoga Day.
So it is decided that we should do this time the entire yoga accessory should be eco-friendly. So that's why we are preferring khadi and khadi products, and also whatever it may be, it's a very eco-friendly. We want to promote it. One. Okay. Second one is this time it is a year-long yoga program. We would like to not confine to only Yoga Day or June or something like that. So we are planned for the year-long yoga program. Third one is on 21st of June. It's not only the mass demonstration in the morning. So there will be a yoga and a wellness festival throughout the day in various parts of the country. Especially all the leading yoga institutions, schools, etc. They are celebrating whole day. That means this time it will be a festival day the whole day, not only confined to the morning sessions.
Okay. Dr. Ishwar, you shared with us that you of course have launched this awareness campaign and encouraging people across the nation to join yoga and make it a mass movement. Now, for the benefit of our viewers this morning, just share a bit more about what how can they really learn yoga and the various asanas as well. You're telling us about various institutes being set up and teachers also, their yoga teachers, they're teaching yoga. So just tell us more about that so that our viewers can also learn about it.
Yes, and you might be knowing that it's various leading yoga institutions and universities, colleges, they are all providing many yoga master courses and master trainer courses. And this time the beauty is we have started a certification board from the Ministry of Ayush, where we are certifying the teachers on their skill and the knowledge on the different levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. Therefore, we can use them in the people as practicing yoga in the wellness centers, in the parks, in the schools, in the hospital setup, in the workplace. We categorize and prioritize, and we prepare the yoga models.
Okay.
So just like we have a 45 minutes common yoga protocol, we come up with various yoga models to be taught in different setups. So accordingly, teachers have been trained and they have been certified by Government of India and have been promoted, so that this will bring the standards in the years to come.
Okay. Often the problem remains, Dr. Ishwar, in finding the right yoga teacher who's experienced and who's, of course, able to impart that yoga training so that the benefit is the maximum to the one practicing. So in that context, how are you also making sure that the yoga teachers are easily available to the people across the country and they also become known to those who want to practice yoga?
Yeah. The most important aspect is that during last 4-5 years, the demand for yoga teachers has been growing exponentially. So that's why we have started even in our institute and in various institute, various courses have been started, and it is I found it is generally 1:6 ratio. Earlier there are 100 students are coming in my institutes. Now it is more than 600 teachers are coming for the quality yoga training. So that's why we have started with many centers. We are certifying them, bringing the standards, giving them the common protocols, and preparing the standard booklets. And various universities and schools and NCERT, everybody is now on the task to provide the quality training and also the reading material. In terms of now, social media is very active. We have prepared a small clips of just like you saw the Honorable Prime Minister is promoting the animated videos and all these things. So like this, our ministry and our institute is taking several measures to provide the quality training to meet out the demand from the public.
Okay. And my last question to you, Dr. Ishwar, since you're the director of the institute, if anyone wants to join the institute and start practicing yoga, for the benefit of our viewers, if you could share with us the steps that they need to follow.
Yes, in my institute, and there will be courses from morning 6 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock, and there are 3 types of master trainers. We always invite the applications through online, and it will be posted in our website and periodically. And then there is a therapy programs. Directly they can come to the OPD and register themselves, either as the individual or the monthly courses. Then there will be general health programs in the morning and evening. So anytime they can come and register and avail the benefits.
Okay. All right, Dr. Ishwar, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and sharing all those inputs and perspective. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And in continuing with our health focus of the day, we are in fact bringing a story on the importance of balanced diet and eating right, that are the 2 basic components to keep ourselves healthy and fit. Well, how? Take a look.
Unhealthy diet or eating wrongly often result in weight gain or undernutrition. Knowing exactly what is good or bad for health is essential. Most people stick on to the taste, leaving the quality of food to the back seat.
The breakfast should be the richest one. Every meal should be nutritious. Half of your plate should be given to the green leafy vegetables, fruits which can be eaten with the peel, and seasonal vegetables. The half of the plate should be given to the should be divided into 2 categories, and 1 part should be given to the cereal and millets, and 1 part should be given to the pulses. People who are non-vegetarian, they have the other choices also to include protein-rich items in your diet, like white meat is always good option.
Your delicious favorite foods may be silently packing on the calories. If snacks consist of empty calories without any nutrition, all your good efforts in the domain of healthy eating come to naught. You have to prioritize on food. Do not compromise on your favorite recipes, but keep a balance between taste and nutrition.
In protein-rich options, the dal and pulses are a very good choices if it is eaten in at least once in a day. It is eaten in a whole way. So in a sprouted form, or it is in a whole form, it is always good. White meats are always good. Eggs can be taken regularly. The fiber is very important aspect of the nutritious food. So cereal should be in a good quantity, sufficient quantity in the whole form, not in the refined form. So it is always better to avoid confectionaries. It is always better to avoid refined flour and products made out of the refined flour. three aspects are very important. The diet should be planned, it should be nutritious, it should be eaten well, and it should be eaten in right time, and breakfast shouldn't be avoided.
Start checking your portion size, keep it small and frequent. Learn the art of eating right to maintain in good health. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
And let's now check the weather in your city. And with that, it's a wrap on the breakfast news this morning. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. But before we go, we are leaving you with the glimpses of innovative light show organized during Wuhan Lotus Festival in central China. Take a look at those beautiful visuals, and we wish you a great day ahead. Thanks for being with us.